And thank you for standing with us as we continue this vital work. Thank you.
Truly so grateful to be a part of this with each and every one of you. And I'm
After push and support under this umbrella, you're able to achieve that and the impact they all made.
New York City, the red carpets blazing, flashbulbs bursting like fireworks, and suddenly, one voice cuts through it all like a knife. Stop using our children! Meghan's smile doesn't fade. No, it freezes. Her whole face goes still. Harry's jaw tightens like he's holding back an earthquake. Her hand clamps down on his, and that's not some cute, coupley handhold moment. That's a fairy tale cracking in real time, right in front of everyone. And of course, every second, caught on camera. But here's what nobody realized. That disaster, that moment that made everyone gasp. It didn't start in New York, it started months earlier, in Paris. And what happened there? Well, buckle up. Paris Fashion Week. Meghan's big comeback, her moment to reclaim the spotlight, the headlines, the glory days. Front row at Balenciaga, surrounded by every power player who matters, every lens pointed right at her. And those photos? Stunning. Absolutely flawless. She looked like she'd never left that glittering world of high fashion. Perfect outfit, perfect smile, perfect lighting. The internet went wild within hours. Everyone talking, everyone reposting. It looked exactly like the perfect, powerful re-entry into the elite fashion scene. But not so fast.
Supposed to be a glamorous night. Glitzy lights, a humanitarian award, and
There she was, draped in designer everything, styled to perfection, cameras flashing non-stop. She looked like she still owned that world, like she still had that influence, that pull. Every shot screamed, she's back, except it was all smoke and mirrors. Because while everyone else was drooling over those glossy pictures, something else, something no one saw, was happening behind the scenes. And once you know it, it changes everything.
The gruesome twosome in New York on Thursday night, collecting yet another meaningless humanitarian award.
That show-stopping outfit, borrowed, not gifted, not sponsored, not hers, just borrowed, and promptly returned after the event. And here's the kicker. The tag was still on when it went back. If you don't live in the fashion world, that might sound trivial. But inside that world, that's a huge deal. It's a message. When a brand lets you borrow their clothes instead of gifting them to you, they're saying something very clear. We don't trust you enough to represent us long-term.
supposed to be a glamorous night. Glitzy lights, a humanitarian award, and a red carpet in New York.
In fashion speak, that means you're not an ambassador. You're not our partner. You're just a temporary display. You can wear their look while the cameras flash, but once those lights go out, they want it back. That's not power, that's not status, that's desperation, disguised in couture, trying too hard to fit into rooms that don't welcome you anymore. It might look golden in pictures, but underneath, it's hollow. And trust me, the fashion world saw right through it.
To accept a humanitarian award, and she does look glamorous, she did look smart, she looked tailored for a change. I thought she actually looked really...
Paris wasn't done with her yet. That trip didn't just dent her image, it shattered it. Because on that same visit, she made one choice that didn't just break her public persona, it cracked her entire relationship with Harry. She filmed at the Pont de l'Alma tunnel. Yes, that tunnel. The one where Princess Diana lost her life. The very place that changed Harry's world forever when he was just a boy. And what did Meghan do there? She and her team set up cameras, full production, lighting, crew, the whole thing. She stood there, scarf perfectly draped, expression soft and reflective, like she was filming a soulful documentary moment.
Some reason Meghan Markle is the one collecting humanitarian awards. You can't make this up. She's collecting humanitarian awards.
The lighting? Perfect. The angles? Perfect. Everything looked carefully staged to evoke meaning, emotion, legacy. They knew exactly where they were. No chance it was accidental. The footage was crafted to look heartfelt, poignant, like a tribute. When people saw it later, the backlash hit like a storm. Social media erupted. How could she? How do you film content in that tunnel? How do you turn the place where Diana died into a backdrop for your brand? Her response? She claimed she didn't know, didn't realize it was that tunnel. Just happened to be there. Total coincidence. Please. This is Meghan Markle we're talking about. The woman who studied Diana like it was her life's thesis. Every outfit, every speech, every hand wave. She had it memorized before she ever met Harry. She wasn't imitating Diana, she was playing her. Meghan knew every page of the Diana playbook. She'd leaned into it from the start. The parallels, the storylines, the tragedy. People had been comparing them since the engagement, and she'd never exactly discouraged it. There's no universe in which she just accidentally filmed in that exact place without knowing exactly what she was doing and exactly what kind of reaction it would spark. To her, it was symbolism. To Harry, it was desecration.
Imagine this, a sleek Manhattan hotel suite filled with stylists, assistants, and publicists. Meghan is getting ready for what...
To Meghan, that tunnel moment was art, a visual statement that would land, a way to connect herself to Diana's story, to weave her image into that tragic royal mythology. To her, it was brilliant branding, deep, symbolic, and just edgy enough to get people talking. But to Harry, it wasn't symbolism, it wasn't branding, it was sacred ground. That tunnel was the place where his childhood ended in one horrifying instant. The place that split his life into before and after. Not Paris, not just another backdrop, but the single darkest point in his entire existence. And she turned it into a filming location. The thing that haunted him, reduced to content. That was the moment something broke between them. Not during a fight, not in front of cameras, but quietly, painfully, invisibly. He realized they didn't see the world the same way. She saw a visual opportunity. He saw betrayal. The kind you don't come back from. When that video hit the internet and started going viral, Harry's reaction behind closed doors was reportedly volcanic. Not the polite, calm Harry we see in interviews, the real one, the hurt one, the furious one, the one who'd finally reached his limit.
Like denial. Behind closed doors, his health is becoming harder to hide. The makeup can't mask how loose...
That night at their hotel, everything that had been bubbling underneath, every frustration, every unspoken word, it all exploded. People who were there said he completely lost it. Not in public, not where anyone could film, but inside their suite, away from the cameras. He demanded to know, how could you? How could you do that? How could she take the one place that destroyed his world and turn it into footage? Into a clip for a video? How could she smile and pose there, at that spot, like it was just another scenic stop on her Paris itinerary?
This one is hot and ready to spill. Let me tell you exactly what happened in New York. The cameras were ready to capture...
He asked how no one stopped it, how her team didn't say, maybe this isn't the move, how she could stand there and treat the place his mother died like it was an Instagram backdrop. He wanted answers, real ones. He needed to understand how someone who claimed to love him could ever think that was okay. And when she finally responded, it wasn't what he expected. She didn't cry, she didn't apologize, she didn't even raise her voice. She just looked at him, cold, composed, and said, "It's just a clip." It's not that deep 5 words. 5 words that froze the entire room. 5 words that told him everything about how differently they saw the world. To her, it was content. A video, a moment, something for engagement, for headlines. Not that deep, just another upload in an endless cycle of uploads. But to him, it was everything. It was the deepest wound he'd ever carried. That tunnel wasn't just a location, it was the moment his life was torn apart. It turned him into a 12-year-old walking behind his mother's coffin while the world watched, while cameras flashed, while grief became public property. And now, the woman who promised to understand him was using that same pain as a prop. She'd turned his lifelong nightmare into aesthetic content. Soft lighting, designer scarf, thoughtful pose. That line, "It's not that deep," hit him harder than any tabloid headline ever could. Because strangers didn't know him. Strangers didn't claim to love him. But she did. She was supposed to get it. She was supposed to be the one person who understood what that place meant. And instead, she brushed off his pain like he was being dramatic. Like he was inconveniencing her brand strategy. Like his trauma was getting in the way of her vision. After that, he stopped talking, stopped explaining, stopped trying to make her understand. The fight didn't end with shouting, it ended with silence. And anyone who knows anything about relationships knows that silence, it's worse than any argument, because when someone stops trying to be understood, it means something broke, something that can't be repaired. And that silence hung heavy between them after that night. Fast forward to New York, the red carpet, the flashing cameras, the applause. On the surface, everything looked picture perfect again. They arrived together, smiled together, posed for photos like professionals. From far away, it looked fine. But up close, it was hollow. If you actually watch that footage, really watch it, it tells a different story. He leans away from her ever so slightly, his body angled just enough to create distance. She leans in, trying to close that gap to make it look connected. He smiles, but it's a smile of survival, not joy. The kind of smile you wear when you know the cameras are rolling and you have to get through it. She's performing for the lenses, he's enduring them. Every move, every glance, choreographed. Every touch timed for the perfect photo. It's not love anymore, it's choreography, a performance of what used to be real. Behind those smiles, nothing but ice. The applause, the speeches, the forced charm, all of it part of the show. They've done this dance so many times they could do it in their sleep. But that night it all came undone when a voice in the crowd cut through everything. "Stop using our children!" And just like that, reality shattered the illusion. Her hand tightened around his. Reflexively, not affectionately, his jaw locked again. That flash of pain, that split-second look of not again, and you can see it if you slow the clip down. And then he resets, mask back on, smile reloaded, showtime. Those aren't the reactions of a couple united. Those are the reactions of two people who just got exposed. In public. In that single red carpet moment, their entire dynamic was laid bare. It wasn't the fairy tale the press once sold us. It was tension. It was exhaustion. It was two people clinging to a performance because the truth beneath it was falling apart. And behind all of that glitter, there's something darker. The story of how Paris cracked their foundation, and how New York made the world finally see it. The internet crowned that red carpet moment the divorce glare. Clips slowed, dissected, memes everywhere, the illusion gone. It wasn't love anymore. It was performance art for survival. Behind palace walls, whispers grew louder. King Charles might strip their titles. That title kept her relevant. That title kept him proud. Now, it's just a reminder of everything they lost. They stay together out of need, not love. She clings for status, he clings for pride. Paris began the cracks. New York exposed them. The fairy tale didn't end. It just quietly expired under the spotlight.